Hey everybody, it's your boy Zero here doing a new gunpla review. In today's episode, we are covering the Strike Rouge entry grade from Gundam Seed. So, this is yet another entry grade Gundam. So, something, it's easier to build than an SD, but has the same proportions as a real grade and a high grade. So, this is... After this, I'm officially only missing the Granddaddy entry grade. Then I've actually built every entry grade gunpla that has ever come out. So, eventually I will have to get my hands on it just so I can say I've built them all. But much like the Strike and the Galaxy, Exceed Galaxy, the entry grade regular Strike, the entry grade new Gundam, this is another great but very simplistic kit. A lot of the unnecessary bells and whistles and all the unnecessary parts have been slimmed out. So, it's good in its own right, but there's issues with the entry grade series, which is just my personal biases towards it. Maybe it's yours, but that's just me. I'll get into it, what they are when we get to the review. So, with that being said, let's actually get into it, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay, so, like I said, this is just a entry grade version of the Strike Rouge. I do not have my Strike Rouge or my variant of Strike Rouge near me. But this is just another clone of the Strike, just with an overclocked reactor, which gave it the red color. Thus, the Strike Rouge. But, all in all, solid kit. Nothing's coming off of this dude. That's the one thing I have to say I love about the entry grades. They are incredibly solid. Because, like I said, a lot of the jankiness of other sizes are pretty much removed. And again, this is just streamlined. I feel like every main Gundam and all the grunt suits should always be entry grades. Well, again, make the entry grade for accessibility and cost value. But say you want to do an army builder and just have a bunch of grunt suits, just make them all entry grades. Be so much cheaper and easier for everybody. Like, who wouldn't mind like a dozen Jins or a dozen Zakus for like $8-9 a pop? That wouldn't be so awful opposed to spending 10 to 15 to $20 per model if you need like more than one. Ugh. Get 3 and you're already up to $45 if they're just 15. If they're 20 or higher, that's 60. That's a financial burden. But this, you can build like a faux factory of Strike Gundams and Gundams like this dude. So, it's so much more balanced. But with that being said, let's do the articulations. That's the arm all the way out. That's the arm all the way bent. The shoulder armor does move, as you can clearly see. The head joint is pretty tight. We do get a nab crunch. Leg kick all the way up. Decent knee bend. This is the one thing I hate. I'm not a fan of the feet, because it looks like they're wearing slippers. Unless one of their weapons is to beat the other Gundam with chocolatas, I'm not going to find it as a threat. Just, no. It does come with sticker-style decals, 2 of which, as you can see, I have used. And then the remaining ones are just this. We had 2 versions of the line symbol. Tiny one, big one. And yeah, that's about it. Shield's made up of 4 pieces. The major part right here. The black piece, the red piece, and this little bar right here. The gun itself is made up of 3 pieces. 2 pieces here, and the scope. You cannot do the splits because the legs will pop out of joint. Believe me, I've tried. Plus, the side skirts get in the way, so. See what I mean? Pop them too far, leg pops out of joint. It's rather annoying. So be careful with that. Paralyzed back skirt. So, yeah, parallelized back skirt. Nothing's going back there far. So, that's as far as it goes back. Yes, this is viable for all striker packs. Hence, in the manual, it does reference the option packs that have come out, the gun barrel, and striker packs 1 and 2. And for the sake of completionism, I still have my Shadow Strike nearby. So, which still has the Ale striker pack still with it. So, you see, works just fine. So, if you have a striker pack, or you get the actual striker packs, you can obviously attach it. So, it's all good. And since the Shadow Strike is about 99% the same, minusing the hands and the weapon, we can do some comparison. Obviously, it does not have... Well, it's mostly the same. I did use some Destiny parts. But, side skirts, you don't have beam sabers attached, but usually it went on the backpack. It's around the same height. Of course, obviously the feet had to be changed, because again, slippers. Same height, all that fun stuff. Everything else is pretty much the same in comparison to a more traditional Strike Gundam. Or at least, you know, a personal variant made by yours truly. But with that being said, let's get into the summary and wrap up the review. So, would I recommend the entry grade Strike Rouge? Yeah, especially if you want to build something or get your kids or a family member or a loved one into gunpla building, but you don't want to do something crazy like hand them a master grade or a real grade, and you think SDs are a bit childish, just pass them an entry grade. This is very simplistic. The color separation is really good. Like, if you look at the eyes, downside, there is no green sticker for the camera. That bothers me, but the eyes are just a separate piece of plastic, which is really cool. You know, there is some painting if you want to make it perfect, but it's a really great, simple starter kit. It is literally a great entry point to the franchise and to the hobby. Nothing too great, nothing too bad. Yeah, there's no flaws. The posability is a bit weaker than a lot of more modern day gunpla, but in comparison to like the older version of the Strike and the Strike Rouge, this is perfectly fine. It's very simplistic. I like it. So yeah, and it's only like $9, $9, 8-ish if you get it on sale some places. Like at our friends at Galactic Toys, you know, use my affiliate link down below. You could get, you know, one for $8, possibly less due to time of recording. There is a sale going on, but you know, you can always, like, they should always market the first Gundam or any major Gundam of a franchise as an entry grade, just so they, if somebody wants to get the bigger version, they can get it in the future. But they just want the basic Gundam, none of the bells and whistles, like no extra backpack, no nothing. Just, here's an entry grade. To be fair, with that also being said, they should also make the backpacks as an option parts. Like, make it that you can use different backpacks from different series onto different Gundams from different series. Like, get me an option pack that is a GN drive. Man, that could help me with a lot of kit bashing ideas. Instead of trying to feng shui getting another Ixia and throwing that onto something, I can just put the GN drive on it. That would be awesome. But that's just my opinion. Again, it's a solid kit. Very simplistic. And I do feel like these are good test beds, if you will. Like if you want to try practice panel lining or scribing and stuff like that, or painting. An entry grade isn't that expensive that if you mess up, you are boned. Like, oh man, there's a $30 thing I have to spend money on. And the pieces are big enough that they don't bounce out of your hands if your hands are shaky, like mine, hence why this was picked instead of my original plan was to do the Blue Destiny Unit 3, but I lost a piece during building and I couldn't finish it. So now I have to go buy a second Blue Destiny Unit 3. Just for one piece, and it bothers me because that thing is not that cheap. But it is what it is. So, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. I hope you stick around. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you for being around for so long. You guys are amazing. Including the new guys, the new subscribers. You guys are also amazing. We're up to our 300th episode, which is pretty awesome. It is on the Master Grade Sin and Juice Stein narrative version. I originally wanted to get the Verka, but man, that's expensive. This wasn't cheap, but it was cheaper than that. Plus, it was at my local hobby store, so I didn't have to pay for shipping. So I made it a touch cheaper. So, yeah. So that would be next week's episode. I hope you guys tune in for that. And I want to thank everybody for watching. All of you are amazing. All of you are appreciated. All of you are great. I'll catch you guys for the 300th episode. Peace.